Hello Aries, how are you? Today is February 6th. I'm here to do your reading for the week. I actually really like the energy of this week. Now today is a little funny because we have Venus conjunct Saturn and Venus squares Uranus. So she's a busy little bee. And to me, it's kind of like that energy sort of getting rid of one that's not too serious because it's time to buckle down. So if you're like dealing with two guys kind of thing, it would be like dumping one because the other one's more serious, or getting rid of an employee or a collaborator because they're not taking it seriously and really going to find someone who's taking the Venus issues seriously. So that is today and tomorrow. Then on Monday we have Sun conjunct Mercury. So I expect, some sort of awareness or realization or putting the dots together, connecting the dots on some stuff that you've already been thinking about, but this really starts to get clarity, like shining new light on something you've already been thinking about. But now it comes it gets a little bit clearer. On the 10th, Mercury square Mars. This energy is actually not so pleasant. It's like kind of fighting words. So people can be testy, they can be aggressive. You may be reading people's words wrong. You may actually say the wrong thing. So keep an eye on that. I've actually made a point to not schedule any meetings for that day, just in case, especially since Mars is our ruling planet and Mercury is in retrograde. Even though I have to say this Mercury retrograde, I've been noticing has not been like one of the bad ones. Like when Mercury is in retrograde in Virgo, it's actually been bringing like some surprises, but good surprises from the past. Things you thought may have been dead and buried are kind of peeking their heads up again, but in a good way, not in a bad way. And then on the 11th, which I absolutely love, Venus conjunct Jupiter, great energy, together with a new moon in Aquarius. Now, funnily, is that a word? Yeah, funny enough, I've had a ton of people call me, like I've been trying to set up meetings and stuff for my project and whatnot, and a lot of people that I didn't even solicit came looking for me, and they've all set up meetings like on the 11th or the 12th, so right around that new moon energy. And the Sabian for that moon is a man turning his back on his passions, teaches deep wisdom from experience. So this is very much a new moon about turning, there's a turning point. He turns his back on something. So, and also that kind of Venus getting serious, like taking things to the next level, investing more, right? And that can be financially, that can be from a personal level, from an energetic level. You'll see more resources put into something you care about. And with the teaches deep wisdom from experience is very much about what you have been working on, what you have learned, your life story, starting to actually share it, starting to bring it to light and bring it to other people. And then on next Saturday, we have Mercury conjunct Venus, which is also a nice energy. So I really like this week, and I really like this new moon. So I hope it's good for all of you. But let's take a look at the cards. Can I get the overall energy, please, for Aries for the week of February 6th? What energy can Aries expect? Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. So the image is not nice, but the action is. So release, right? Turning the back on passions, teaching deep wisdom from experience, letting things go, moving away also from sort of a dark time and moving out of the rain, I say, as we're on like day 28 of the grayest winter weather ever. So, as I said, the image here doesn't look very nice, but so you see what's behind her in this picture is a cemetery, and what's coming over here, they're starting to shine rays of light. So it's like turning your back on those, the the losses of the past or the ghosts of the past and allowing the sun to come in and start sort of drying up that rain. Now, what's the challenge energy here? What's the challenge for the week of February 6th, please? Challenge energy for Aries, week of February 6th. Okay. Okay. So Six of Wands, which is the success card. So you may actually be worrying about success. You may be you see there's these kind of like two very different images going on here. She's very concerned about not being in a state of abundance, and this one is very much about it. So it's like, watch your perceptions of the things going around you and really try to tap into this space more. You may have a hard time feeling successful or believing that it's going to come, but this ray of light back here and this energy that I'm looking at here for the next week, you know, is it's bringing stuff in, right? So you might not see it yet because it's still walking, but it's definitely on its way. All right, let's get another energy. I would also say here, like, if this is how you're feeling, be very careful about this reminds me of sort of the Eight of Swords energy. Be aware of letting your mind go to too dark of a place. And it's funny, I had this conversation because some of my friends, my other startup friends, will reach out to me for readings and stuff. And what keeps coming up for a lot of them is really the lack mentality perception. That what's blocking them is they start to worry, like it's not going to happen, things aren't moving fast enough, and you can talk yourself out of success by keeping your head in sort of a dark space. So really mind your mind. Now, interesting. So these are the two cards that came out as sort of the lesson, right? And I tend to get this one always in reverse. So both of them coming up in the regular or upright, sorry. And this is a deep knowing, right? So it's like, be careful of your mind and really trust what's deep down. And here's that moon again. So trust the lunar knowledge that's telling you. So it's like, if you feel like something is the right answer, but you can really, it's like, I know this is going to work out. I know this is the job for me. I know this is the person for me. Again, based also on objective facts. Watch the headspace, like watch what goes on in your head and trust what's really in here. And also at the same time, this idea of serendipity. First of all, that sometimes the hands of fate will come in and bring you things. So this is kind of like a wish of good luck, which to me is very much that the Venus conjunct Jupiter on the same day of the new moon in Aquarius, it brings them to mind like leprechauns and stuff. It's a really, really nice energy. So the universe may give you a sign, you know, that things are lining up, that things are working out. Keep an eye out for 4-leaf clovers or any sort of those usual good luck charm signals, because you can see it's like the good is really bookending this sort of negative energy. So release, like allow that negative energy to be released. And this has been coming up, you know, a couple of times. We saw it at Christmas too, to really embrace the positive. And the universe will show you little signals of like, oh my God, you know, that's like, it's magic. Like it's magic that person called me out of the blue. It's someone who I've always wanted to work with. I had someone who I've been keeping my eye on that I wanted to work with, and they called me, and we don't have any connections, you know, so like little things like that may help. And when they come, don't shush them away, you know, like, oh, nah, it's just one thing. Allow yourself to get into that sort of energy there. Let's do this one. It's also funny because this is a 6. This is a 7. This I said was like the 8 of Swords, and here we have a 9. So, you know, things falling into order, falling into line. Can I get 2 cards, please, for Aries for the beginning and ending of the week of February 6th? Okay, interesting. So slow and steady and the sacred pool. Now this came out, it was funny that because I mentioned I was doing readings for a friend. This came out in reverse also for a friend of mine, which is about not being impulsive and not like having to push through your agenda to really let the universe bring things to you. You know, and these two energies really match up. I'm not good enough. It's not moving fast enough. I'm not seeing the results that I want. Why isn't this person calling? Blah, blah, blah. And the more of this sort of negative energy that you put around any situation, the more pressure there is around it, and it kind of becomes stifled. It can't move. It can't move forward to success because all of these negative thoughts and negative energy is holding it back. It's creating an energetic wall against it. So really, like, turn your back on those thoughts. Let them be free. Let the universe bring it to you when it is your time. Especially if you have that deep knowing that what it is good for you, or is right, or is the thing you want to do. And we all know when we're lying to ourselves and when we're not. So with the deep truth of yourself, then let the universe kind of like show you little magic things that it's bringing you success. Sacred pool here in reverse, I don't remember, which is an 11. Let me just check this again. Okay. Oh, interesting, because I just said about like knowing when we're lying to ourselves, right? It can be difficult to overcome denial when there is a reward for staying where you are. If you can't accept and love yourself, you remain trapped, wearing the false mask of victimhood. Is this the right one? 47. Yep. Okay. The benefit of embracing denial and the victim's mask is that you never have to take a real risk. Ooh, interesting. Dimming your light serves no one. Turning away from the truth that is reflected in the stillness of the sacred pool keeps you in denial, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Such vain efforts lead to a tedious, boring existence. So yeah, so somewhere here there's like a truth that you know, but you won't look at. And you are keeping yourself here. It's like maybe you don't want to have to walk out of this situation because you're actually choosing to stay in it. So, you know, you don't have to admit that there's nothing left there. Perhaps some of you are in relationships or jobs that have been dead for quite some time, but you don't want to, I call it in my business a functional alibi. We make up things to keep us, like, to allow us to stay in positions rather than make the change, rather than move forward. And so here there's kind of like two different messages that some of us need to take a very good look at where we're not telling ourselves the truth, and creating even more because of this sort of negative energy negative mental energy that we allow ourselves to embrace. We're actually kind of slowing things down for ourselves by putting energetic blocks in them. And that by admitting the truth, accepting the deep knowledge that we have, that we deserve something better, that this is over, that it's time to move forward to a more successful space. This can be scary. You know, a lot of people have it's an equal fear of failure as there is of success. I know that, like, a few years ago, rather than take a really bold jump into the next stage of my career or my working life, I ended up getting involved in a hideous narcissistic situation where I was allowed to dedicate all of my energy to the other person because it gave me an alibi for not doing what I wanted to do. and boy, did I end up here. So remember that you have a responsibility, not just to yourself, but to the divine spark within you. Courage is not the absence of fear. Accept the discomfort of seeing with clear eyes, and you'll soon find that wondrous adventures are waiting for you. Step into your magical life. Take the leap of faith. Incredible. So that's what I said. It's like the universe wants to bring really good stuff into you, but there's like a little triangle here of you holding yourself back by not admitting that you're better than this, or that, you know, sometimes people will say like, oh, well, there's nothing better out there. And that is one way. What's Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? If you stay here, then yeah, the things are dead. But if you leave, nice, you know, you create that energy that things can come to you. You can never get what you want until you start saying no to what you don't want. I read that once in a book, and it changed my life. So I'm sharing it with you. Let's get 3 cards here for the week of the 6th. Three cards for Aries for the week of February 6th, 2021. So yeah, I keep getting that thing. It's like you're better than this, and the universe wants to show you. But it can't. Like it can't as long as you stay there. And even, you know, if you kind of stay in this dark space, even if the sun is coming out because you have your back to it, this is also like, it's 8 of Swords, also like 5 of Cups, right? Refusing to see the good in the situation. So, you know, definitely tap into that deeper knowledge of what you're worth, of what you're accepting, what's the truth of the situation that you're in. Does it make you feel like this, or does it make you feel like this? And then you have your answer. Oh, I never get this card. Never. Right? I'm almost tempted to just stop because, you know, in sales, they say when you get the answer you want, hang up. The Sun card. So I told you, I love this card, and I love the energy for the week, especially with this as the answer. Release it and let the sun come out. Release the gray energy and let the sun come out. And actually, you know what? I'm not going to get any more cards because that's enough. We'll stick with the major arcana. I want to do one more from Mercury here because he's in retrograde. So I always like to get messages from Mercury when he's active. So really nice cards, actually. Ooh, that one came flying out. Oh, love it. Remember what I said about objective observation? So here's what the card that we get. Aura observation. Let me read this to you. Like, pay attention to the situation that you're in. What is the actual truth of it? Is it good? Is it bad? Where are you keeping yourself in a graveyard? Where are you not paying attention to the possibility of something better? Where are you not allowing yourself to feel the success? A lot of us can also have, like, particularly if you're starting something new or if you're getting started, we have imposter syndrome, right? Like, I'm not good enough. I'm not, I won't be able to make it. I had someone I know just took a job as a CMO of a really cool company, and I have like 25 years of experience. This person has 6, and I wouldn't consider myself to be qualified to take that job, but because, you know, it's like we don't always measure ourselves against the correct rulers. So, aura observation. Wake up to what is really going on around you. Take a good long look at yourself and at others. for all is not what you have painted in your mind. There are underlying reasons for certain people in your life acting as though they have your best interests at heart, although they are actually not always sweetness and light. This wake-up call serves you well and asks you to look at areas of your life where you could improve things. Deepen investigation into situations you have previously skimmed over. Become the observer, watch and learn. Notice every detail in a person's mannerisms and energy, and soon you will be able to determine the bigger picture in all that you witness. Observe well, and the subtle truth will emanate clearly for you to determine. I also kind of feel like what's going on here, some of you may be being gaslit into staying into a situation that is not for you. I don't know if you have experience with gaslighting, but it's when the other person is constantly telling you like, oh, well, you couldn't do better than this, or they negate anything that comes up in your feelings. You're like, well, I feel like you don't show me enough energy or enough attention. And their response will be like, oh, but you're always so high drama. You always start fights. Look at what you make me like, look at what you made me do kind of energy, where everything turns back to you. And, me not showing up for that date, that wasn't my fault. I work hard, blah, blah, blah. So bullshit like that. Let's see. So observe well, and the subtle truth will emanate clearly for you to determine. The incantation here is, as I take a look around, things aren't quite what I once found. The veil has lifted, eyes are bright, observing all with my new sight. And the other divinatory meanings are, always ask the question, is this for my highest good? You will witness something important. Become more aware of signs and symbols that spirit brings to you. Remember I said, like, pay attention to those little things that seem insignificant. Try to see the good in others. You have a gift for sensing and seeing auras. So, and that's your deep knowing, right? If somebody's like, no, I'm going to help you. I'm going to get you where you want to, but you feel that that's not true. Trust that feeling more than, and pay attention to, well, what are they saying? What are they doing? Etc. Let's get one last piece of advice. And this could be, remember how I said at the beginning, there's that Venus square Uranus, and then the Venus. There's two kind of like tense moments, right? There's the Venus square Uranus, and then there's the Mercury square Mars. And so I feel like those are gonna like bring you the information that you deserve better, or that there's something better out there, or you haven't been looking at something correctly. But then the rest of the energy, the Venus conjunct Saturn, the Sun conjunct Mercury will bring that clarity to you as well. But that new moon, the new moon and the 13th, I love their energy. The 14th is funny, actually. Mars squares Neptune next Sunday, not tomorrow, but the week after. That, I think, is when you might figure out who's been lying to you or who hasn't been telling the truth. Because that's classic lie energy right there. So use this week to observe, like if you have doubts about something, turn it into a scientific experiment and say, okay, what is the observable evidence for and against? But there's definitely some situation where we deserve better, which is what I'm going to call this. You see, there's like this nice triangle here of success, and then there's a triangle of negativity, and they're encroaching. And what will make us see the difference is this observation. So observing where we're not allowing this goodness to come in because we're being held in a pattern of mental anxiety. Some by others, some by choice. So, and that, that will depend on the situation. Can I get one last piece of advice for Aries, week of February 6th, please? What do we have here? Revelation. Da, 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 da. Angel Amitiel and blue obsidian. So blue obsidian, 5th chakra energy, definitely words. Mercury energy. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so we bring you the gift of revelation. There are times when not knowing is helpful. During such times, you develop unconditional trust in the universe. That trust will then support you in living your life according to your personal truths. You need a lot of trust in yourself and in life to live with such courage. Not knowing the bigger picture can help you stay focused on what you need to do right now, rather than getting so excited about the future, you become distracted. Sorry, that sentence is a huge run-on sentence. Not knowing the bigger picture can help you stay focused on what you need to do right now. Rather than getting so excited about the future, you become distracted from the work that needs to be accomplished in the present moment, unwittingly slowing down your progress and delaying the very future you want to draw closer to you. That was one sentence, by the way. However, there are other times, and we had like a message like that come up before where it was like, I can't show you the bigger picture right now. You're going to have to trust, because you would get so excited about what's coming in that you wouldn't actually do the work. And so keep your eyes, you can only see that. It was that driving at night metaphor where you can only see the road immediately in front of you. However, there are other times when it is more helpful to know, to understand, to see. A particular truth will help you gain perspective, let go of the past, heal a wound, and feel safer, feel more loved, more empowered, and ready for the next step of your life journey. This is one of those times. We bring you the helpful gift of revelation now because you are ready to know a deeper truth. Amazing. So I'll read a little bit more of this. There's an expression that says, when it no longer serves you not to know, you shall know. So like on a need to know basis. For the spiritual aspirant who believes their path would be much easier if they only knew what was going on in their lives and why things were happening the way they were, this might seem questionable. Yet there are benefits and empowerments that happen for us when we are in a not knowing phase of our life journey, laboring through the darkness and confusion and not really sure what we're doing or supposed to be learning. During such times, there is a possibility to develop a spiritual strength by learning to trust unconditionally in life. This unconditional trust then helps us have the courage to act on insights and revelations when they come. Okay, this is going, let me see if there's one. So I'll read the last piece here. A revelation is coming to you now because you are ready for it. Believe in what you see, feel, and know within your heart now and over the coming time. You are going to see a mystery revealed before your very eyes, and you may be startled, humbled, moved, and inspired by what you come to know. There is only love in every revelation. You are just going to understand more of love's delicious divine plan for your soul this lifetime. Trust in what you perceive, no matter how radical it may seem. The divine is about to show you a glimpse into the heart of your life story and a positive prediction for your future. Amazing. I love this reading. Okay, awesome. I won't say anything else. Hope this was useful and helpful, and have a great week. Remember, watch out for the 10th. Watch your words, because you can start a fight without meaning to. And then the 14th, although I'll be back before then, the 14th is when looks like the veil gets lifted. But in the meantime, pay attention. Know that, that whatever is coming, like whatever information is coming to you is going to put you on this triangle of goodness here. Right? I'll just put one more. This is the energy that's trying to come at you. And whatever the truth that comes through, which may be uncomfortable and unwanted, but it's trying to bring you somewhere good. So awesome. All right, have a great week. Enjoy that new moon, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care.